Hi, this is Taxis Chronicles, and I'm your host, Simon Rushton. It's afternoon now. I've been driving for a couple of, probably about 8 hours, and I'm interviewing a lovely Ghanaian lady. She's been telling me about her career moves, her career decisions, and I just thought it'd be something that people would be interested to hear about. And, welcome to have you.
Hi.
With a hi. Okay, so tell us, you was telling me how you was in Kent University.
Yeah.
And you were studying
Criminology.
Yep. What is it about criminology that fascinates you?
Like the mind of a criminal. I want to know what makes them do what they do, what makes them commit the crimes they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people would say you may as well study politics.
Nah. It's not for me.
No, what I'm saying is, it's a joke, obviously. Criminals, politicians, lawyers, you might as well study all those people. They are the guilty ones. It's like someone was telling me today that Boris was giving he gave all his banker friends contracts for the construction development of Stratford Village, Olympic Village, but how can he do that and they don't know anything about construction?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
Okay, so what have you found out? Tell us, what have you found out so far?
About criminals?
Yes.
I don't think they're all bad. I think most of them aren't bad. They're really good people, but they just get caught up in like different situations, trying to change or better their life, which leads them to go to jail.
Would you say it's decision-making process out of ignorance, partly? Not all of them, but some of them.
No, not really.
Do you see what I mean? When I say that, I'll just expand on that, is that some people, if they can only see, if everybody around them lives a life a certain way, then they see that as the norm. So there's an element of ignorance in it, and they don't foresee themselves being able to do what other people may do, whether on TV or down the road, who they don't really know.
Kind of, like they would want to, but it's like they don't really know any better.
Okay. Would you say it's know any better or something else? Because we all know what's wrong is wrong and right is right.
Yeah, but it's like the lifestyle they're used to. It's like it's like the norm to them. So it's what's normal.
Okay, but they know it's wrong though.
Kind of, yeah. They know, alright, they know it's wrong, but it's what's normal to them. So they feel like it's the only way of like living.
Okay.
Or like easy and fast money.
Okay. Alright. But do they have a goal? Give me a story of one that's really, the situation's really dear to your heart, that enlightened you.
Like I know a guy that he's been to jail before, but it's not that he knows right from wrong, but it's just like situations that lead him to make like quick snap decisions, and then he gets in trouble from them. But then when he comes out and he tries to do good, he can't get a job because now he's got a record, even though he wasn't found guilty of the crime. The trial started, but they had to stop the trial because they didn't have enough evidence. But it's still on his record, so it's hard for him to find a job, which is with a lot of them. So then they just go back to committing the same old crimes.
Why would it be on his record if he didn't get charged?
That I don't know.
Isn't that something that
they charge you because you go to trial?
Yep.
But even because it's eradicated, when CBS came back, it's still on there. CBR, sorry, it's still on there.
But surely that shouldn't be there.
It should have come off, yeah.
So he just needs to write them a letter or get someone to.
But I don't think they're going to change it, because to me, I feel like the police are corrupt. So like this is what they do, which is why it's so hard for people to find jobs after they've been to jail.
Okay, so you think but is that section governed by the police or a different department?
I think it might be the CPS, which work with the police, the Crown Prosecution Service, which work along with the police.
Yes, but then then that's a separate body. I may be talking out of ignorance here, that they should be able to if it's a separate body, they won't think on the same lines of the police, unless they're employed ex-police.
Yeah, and they work together.
Yeah,
Like the police cases, if they want to take it to trial or they want to charge someone, they have to go through CPS first.
Okay, so they say if it's worth the court's time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose until he tries to contact them and sort it out, he will never know.
Yeah.
And that stuff. Or unless, I don't know how you know him, unless you could contact it on that basis there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the mind of what kind of did you study Sherlock Holmes in uni?
No.
Really?
No.
Even though he's a fictional character, his methods are actually very practical.
Yeah.
It's like all the evidence is there, you just have to look.
Yeah, we did like looking at the prison system and rehabilitation and like theories such as like Sigmund Freud.
Okay, I don't know about Sigmund Freud. What's that?
He's one's like, it's kind of like he thinks that like all criminals sort of have like the same mind, and all people that do like certain things have the same sort of like brain structure and mind.
Brain structure, like biological brain structure. So a criminal has a biological, and then a good person has a different.
Yeah, which makes them do what they do.
Is he from the Victorian area? I assume he's dead now.
He is dead, but I don't think he's from the Victorian era.
He's like Darwinian. Kind of, I'm not sure if
I don't know where he's from.
Okay, all right. Because that sounds very, that's like black people have thicker skulls kind of statement. I'll be interested to see what proof he would have of that and how you would determine that in that respect. What was the university's take on that when they were teaching that? And were they were they teaching that as gospel, or were they saying this is how some people used to believe?
It was, this is how some people used to think.
Okay.
They don't really have a take on it. They just teach it.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're not trying to give you any rhetoric of what you should believe or how you should see things?
No.
Okay. Did you have to do work experience during that time?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So nothing with a social worker or anything?
No, you just study criminology.
That's really weird. I'd have thought you would have to get out there, at least do a couple of weeks at the very least with working alongside a social worker or, somebody in that profession.
I think they don't do it like that because criminology leads to like loads of different fields.
Give us an example.
So like you can be a probation officer, social worker, work in a prison, a court, police officer, and they all do different things.
Okay. Do you feel like what you're entering into is just an uphill struggle that's never it's like pushing a circular boulder uphill?
Kind of.
As long as you're not wedged there, the day you remove yourself or get tired, it's going to run back over you.
Kind of. Because like you see some good in people and like you want to help them, but it's hard.
I had a friend once, and she said, I think she was doing a similar kind of job to what you're doing for the jails.
Yeah.
And she said she just got tired because what happened is that there was a minority of people from the jail who were just reoffending, and they were comfortable going to jail, and they knew what to tell her for her to tick the boxes to get them, for them to be allowed to be out.
Yeah.
But they weren't actually trying. But that's not all. She wasn't saying that's all prisoners. There's some people obviously just made a poor decision, regardless of where they come from in life, and they decided, and they made sure they never go back there, in that respect. But that's how she saw, and she just changed her career, in that thing. And so that's why I was asking you that, because different people see things in different ways. Mm-hmm. But you left that industry.
Yes.
And you went back to working in a hospital.
Yep.
And you said you didn't want to become you wanted to be a midwife, and then you changed your mind.
Yep.
So do you want to tell us about that?
I just decided I don't like gruesome things like blood and stuff. So I was like, I just changed my mind. I didn't want to do it anymore. And the next thing that I was interested in was criminals.
Okay. And now you've gone back to the hospital, but you're not in the hands-on point.
Yeah, I'm admin.
So you're helping.
Yeah.
But mind you, your degree and the ability to understand people will help you in life in general.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a clinical psychiatrist called Jordan Peterson?
No.
You should look him up. He's on YouTube. He deals with a lot of people who have trauma from childhood and to why they behave in the way they behave today. And it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So on another note, how have you handled lockdown?
It's been alright. I've been working through it, so everything's like normal to me. It's just been more quiet outside.
Okay. And commuting to work, did you end up catching the bus to work? Because at one point the tubes weren't working.
They were working when I was at work all the time, yeah.
Okay.
There was just less trains.
Oh, okay. And your hospital is a children's hospital, is that right? So you must have been okay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the children are kind of exempt, you could say.
Yeah, and my ward, we get like the same patients coming every week because we do research there.
Oh, you're researching on the babies?
Yeah, they're like older children. Some of them are like 7, some of them are babies.
When you say research, what do you mean?
They like child different medications on them.
Really?
Yeah, to see if they can use it for the type of illness that they have.
So they're on death's door kind of thing anyway.
Yeah, some of them.
And you're trying to see what medicines will help them. I'm not sure if that was my child, I'd approve of that. I think with the like guns at 10 paces.
But I think most of the parents, like, they'll try anything just to like, make their
I suppose
kid better.
if you're in a desperate situation, you have to say, do what you have to do. And that's a terrible predicament to be in as a parent and stuff. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for this interview.
Thanks for having me.
Well, the listeners out there, I hope you found that one interesting. Please feel free to share, share and subscribe. Don't forget to, if you want to have any comments, feel free to hit the link below with the email, info@taxichronicles.com. And you can always visit our website. We also have our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, all about people around the world who've invested in Africa and why. Mainly because Africa has the leading fastest growing economies on the planet, Ethiopia and Rwanda being of the two of them. So it should take your fancy, hopefully. Anyway, have a good day and stay safe.